We are finally here at the point where we are about 4 days from our departure. So we have been busy maintaining the boat and fixing the boat and stocking the boat and doing a lot of different things. But we are finally here where we are going to leave. The wind looks good on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that is our goal right now. So in prep, we are going to give you a little bit of a summary of where we're actually going to be going. We're in Charleston right now, just south of Charleston at Bohicket Marina, and we are going to head initially up towards the Charleston area. And depending on the wind, we might stop in there. We might have to just keep going. If we got a short wind period, we'll just keep going. Then we're going to head up to Beaufort. So Stephen, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Great trip all the way up there. I don't know, I can't remember what it was, maybe a 3-day trip into Beaufort, which is the very tail end of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So that should be a really great place for us to be. We really like that area. I've been there before myself. Dawn hasn't spent much time there, but a lot of history there, good inlet there. You got the Cape right there as well, so hopefully we can explore that a little bit. And then after that, we'll shoot up north from there.
Yep, so we've got some friends who want to visit, and then what's the next stop after Beaufort?
Well, if we are able to do it, we'd love to get into Ocracoke. It is kind of a hairy inlet. It's very shallow in there. It's got to be a really good day. If it is, we're going to try to get in there and spend, quite a few days visiting Ocracoke. It's a little bit of a difficult island to get to, accessible only by boat or ferry. So we'd like to see some of that history in there. If we can get into Ocracoke, great. If we can't, then we go from Beaufort all the way up into the Chesapeake Bay at the Norfolk area, and then on up from there probably to Annapolis.
Now, for those of you that don't know a lot about Ocracoke, we'll be sharing more along the way, but it's just a beautiful area. It's the Outer Banks area, and it's very remote, as Stephen mentioned, only accessible by boats. Much of it is. There are some highways that keep getting washed out during hurricanes. I wouldn't call them highways. I would call them just roads. So they keep rebuilding them, but Mother Nature keeps doing her thing. And so then after, of course, Annapolis is full of things to do and full of sailing. And we are going to take a look at getting some new sails while we are in Annapolis. So if any of you know recommendations for good sail-offs in Annapolis, please let us know. We're looking for some high-performance sails to help us eke out a few extra knots as we are sailing. So after Annapolis, where are we headed, Stephen?
I think there, we're going to go out of the Delaware Bay. From there, we'll probably go ahead and sneak into Sandy Hook. Spend a little bit of time in there, which is just south of Manhattan. So a country fella like me and Dawn, a little bit Midwesterner, that's a whole new atmosphere for us. Of course, she was born there, but very young at the time.
I was born on Staten Island.
But yeah,
long time ago.
So that'll be interesting for us. It'll either scare us enough to leave, or we'll sit and enjoy it for a little while.
Yep, overlook the city, the concrete jungle. We'll see how we like that. We normally don't like that. We normally like really remote areas, but we'll see. And then up to Nantucket area.
Yep, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard. So definitely plan on spending quite a bit of time in there. As you know, great sailing country over there as well. We haven't spent any time there at all, so it's going to be unique to us. We're looking forward to it.
And then, depending on the time of year, we may keep going, depending on how cold it is. We won't keep going if it's cold. We have to be back down here in the fall, and my son is getting married, so we've got to take a trip to Michigan, and so that's the plan so far. After that, we're headed to the Caribbean for the winter, Antigua, way south, and we're doing that with Salty Dog. And then after that, in May of 2024, we are aiming for sailing across the Atlantic Ocean and spending a year in the Mediterranean. So lots in store for y'all, so keep tuned to our channel. and we will keep you updated as fast as I can get these videos done.
Great. Look forward to the trip.
Okay, Captain, where are we going?
Being the prudent mariners we are, we have all the electronics in the world. We have everything on the electronics, but we have paper charts as well.
Okay, paper charts are good.
Plus, paper charts are kind of fun to use for planning as well.
We can make our little marks on them.
Right, so we basically got all the northeast coast ones. Unfortunately, in many cases, a lot of these charts they're more ocean than they are, you know, the navigable ports. But these are the large sections of the charts, and we can follow along the coastline and pick the ports that we want to enter. Of course, that's Manhattan, New York there. But that's the one harbor you and I said we were going to go into, right?
Yeah.
There's Sandy Hook right there.
Yeah.
And your birthplace, Staten Island.
Yeah.
There's a couple of pretty cool places in there.
So,
you know, of this whole chart, you know, we'll use just this area, but it gives us, you know, the shot of all of the sea buoys and the inlets that we can enter, and then we can pull them up on our GPS and get the detailed chart on that.
yeah. So this is Nantucket Shoal to 5 Fathom Bank.
Right, and that's 5 Fathom Bank down there.
So Nantucket Shoal is Rhode Island?
Yeah, so you got Martha's Vineyard up here, Nantucket up here.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's...
It covers a lot of
It does. And
exploring.
yeah, and you can see all the sea buoys along the way.
Yep.
So every one of those are places that you can go into. In most cases. Some cases you can't.
Okay.
So, you know, it gives us the idea of, you know, once we're making a route, we can say, well, where do we want to go? Then we can look at the detailed chart, you know, on our machine.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we can do some research and find out if that's a place we want to go, right?
So paper charts are hard to get, huh?
They are. The government used to issue them. They don't anymore. But you can go to a lot of private places and they'll print them for you like they did here.
Yeah. What's next?
So this is way up in the northeast, Massachusetts, Nova Scotia. So, you know, on this you would have Boston Harbor, right? There's Nantucket and those places that we saw right there.
Yep.
But, you know, then it goes further up north if we were to choose to go up that way.
Right.
So it covers a little bit of the same area as the other one, but
Just a little overlap.
it gives you this north area that if you would want to visit.
Cape Sable to Cape Hatteras.
Right, so Cape Sable being up into the north, you know, way up to Nova Scotia. So this is a really huge, large chart. You can use this for this long distance that you have there, right? And start to pick them, and then you can pick the other chart.
Yep.
And the point being that if you were to lose your electronics, you know, if you know where you are, then you can start getting some other navigational functionality. If you have radar, for example, you can use that.
Yep.
So that would go all the way, you know, really from Beaufort. There's Cape Lookout. So you really can use this to find all different places that you might want to go.
Yeah.
So that covers a huge, huge area there.
Cool. Cape May to Cape Hatteras.
Right, so Cape Hatteras being down here. So this is, again, it's a little more detailed than that extra large chart that we saw there a moment ago. So that basically takes you up into Delaware Bay. And then it takes you into
Chincoteague.
Chesapeake Bay entrance is right there.
Yep.
So that will be a key. So you come around Hatteras up into Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. And then if you want to go to Annapolis, of course, it's way up the bay.
Right.
And then you would come out, I believe, to Delaware Bay and back down.
So that would be
That's
a different chart.
Yeah.
And so this is the first one we're going to use, basically. Even, I mean, we're starting much further south, but this will be the first one that we actually start to map out things that we.
But I believe we have chart below that goes south of here. I think we have that chart too.
The laminated one.
Mm.
Okay.
Then there's a particular way you fold these charts too, so we'll go through that folding process and you can help me with that.
Can't just roll them up.
No, you need to fold them. Because you got to put them in the drawer and you don't have anywhere to put rolled up charts. In the old days, you know, you had big drawers that you put these charts in.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You could put them on top of your closet. It's a joke.
Yeah.
How to fold a chart
How to properly fold a nautical chart, right?
properly.
Start it with face up. Fold it vertically.
Always vertically.
Yep.
Okay.
Then you take the one side, you open it where you have the chart facing out.
And you smooth out starting from the center.
Yep, start from the center.
Flip it over. Another side facing out.
Smooth from the center.
And then we have the name there, so we fold this way. And fold the other way. Yeah, we fold this way with the name facing on the inside, the title of the chart. Right?
Name the title of the chart on the inside.
Right. And you flip that side over.
So you can see the title.
Now you can see the title as well as the chart number.
So this is the lost art of chart folding.
That's right.
It will be, at
It
least,
is, that's right.
as the charts go away.
And then you have the title of the chart there. So when you stack them in your drawer, you always go through and quickly get the title,
Perfect.
as well as the chart number.